When I was in college, I had a friend who was a talented artist. She spent hours upon hours working on her paintings, carefully refining every brushstroke and color choice until she achieved what she considered to be perfection. I remember one time when I visited her in her studio, she was in the middle of a breakdown. She had been working on a piece for weeks, and no matter how much she tweaked and adjusted, she couldn't make it look the way she wanted it to. "I hate it," she said, tears streaming down her face. "It's just not good enough." I tried to console her, telling her that her work was amazing and that she was being too hard on herself, but she couldn't see it. Her pursuit of perfection had blinded her to the beauty of her own creations. To her, imperfections were flaws that needed to be eradicated at all costs. But the more she tried to erase them, the more frustrated and unhappy she became. That's when I realized that perfection is ugly. It's a trap that leads us down a never-ending spiral of self-doubt and dissatisfaction. It's only when we embrace our imperfections and learn to love ourselves for who we are that we can truly find peace and happiness. Perfection, the elusive muse that countless artists, writers, and musicians have been chasing down the centuries. It's an ideal that we are trained to aspire to from an early age. We are constantly bombarded with images of airbrushed models, pictures of perfectly coiffed hair, and displays of well-manicured gardens. However, as we grow older, the question nags at us: is perfection really all it's cracked up to be? I believe perfection is a myth, a line we've been sold by advertisers and corporations to keep us chasing. It is a facile ideal that is impossible to attain, and often we wouldn't even want it if we got it in the first place. Perfection is soulless. It drains the humanity from art, literature, and even from people. If you take a look at any well-known artist, you'll find the best works of art are often the ones with a hint of imperfection. The nicks and dents in the Mona Lisa's painting add character to the masterpiece. Similarly, some of the greatest musical pieces consist of different tones, textures, and even the occasional off note. Now imagine if everything in the world were perfect. Art would be sterile, music would be monotonous, and life would be dull. The truth is, the things we consider imperfect often have a beauty of their own. The gaps in the pavement, the wrinkles on an old man's face, the missing tile in a mosaic, all of them add to the character of the world around us. They give us something to look forward to, a reminder that the world isn't all perfect, but that's precisely why it's beautiful. In conclusion, perfection is just an illusion, a goalpost that will forever elude us. Instead of chasing perfection, we should embrace the imperfection of life. It's the flaws that make life interesting. If everything were perfect, the world would be a very dull and boring place. So let's embrace the quirks, the blemishes, and the imperfections that make life beautiful. After all, perfection is overrated.